Hey guys, Darren Miles Photography, based here in beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida. And today I want to talk to you about my portrait business. And the topic today is overused poses. I'll explain. What exactly is that controversial pose that I'm referring to? Well, as many of you know, I shoot a ton of real estate, and I spend a lot of time, effort, and energy on this YouTube channel with regard to my real estate photography business. But one area that I don't spend a lot of time on is my portrait photography business. And my portrait photography business is like right there next to my real estate photography business. Because I work with so many realtors, you can imagine when I'm out on a job with them, oftentimes they'll ask me, "Hey Darren, do you shoot portraits too?" And what they don't realize is that when I first got into photography, I was more of a people photographer, more of a portrait photographer, but what I figured out very quickly is that portrait photography is a very, very competitive business. So what I did, I wanted to fuel my passions, so I went into real estate photography because it was just a lot more business and I could break in a lot more easily in real estate photography than I could in portrait photography. But what's happened is real estate photography has become a bit of a launch pad for my other business, for my passion, for my people business, because I'm really passionate about photographing people. And you build relationships with realtors, and realtors have wives, sons, daughters, grandkids, families, etc. They get married, they have weddings, they need portraits for their business. So I get asked all the time, "Hey, do you shoot portraits too?" And of course the answer is yes. And so the realtor hears that, we set an appointment, they come in, and two things happen when they arrive at the studio. They invariably say two things. First thing they say to me is, number one, "I really hate getting my picture taken." One of the single most underrated aspects of people photography is your ability to get your client comfortable in front of the camera. It's one of the single most underrated aspects of being a good portrait photographer, is your ability to put your client at ease. In my humble opinion, that is so much more important than a good camera, a good lens, good lighting, etc. Your ability to put that person at ease and be themselves in front of the camera is a skill that is hard to teach and is easily the most underrated aspect of this entire business. That's probably another topic for another video on another day. But today we're going to continue on with this topic because the second thing that client will say to me is, "Oh, by the way, whatever you do, I don't want to take a picture in that pose." You know what pose I'm talking about. Yeah, that one. And let's be honest, arms crossed is the most cliche, most overused, most overplayed, most, frankly, cheesy portrait that's out there. Yet, realtor after realtor after realtor picks that picture. It's probably the most loved and most hated and most cliche picture for a realtor that's out there. But why do they pick it? Because when I do a portrait session, here's what happens. The client has already told me they don't want to have their arms crossed. Fine. So we'll run through a variety of poses. We'll put their hands in front, their hands off to the side, their hands in their pockets, their hands behind them. We'll give them an iPhone to use as a prop, a laptop, an iPad, an MLS data sheet, etc. Once we go through all of that, as we're wrapping up the portrait session, I will then say to them, "You know what, just for the heck of it, since we're here, go ahead and cross your arms." And the same agent that says to me, "I don't want to do that," I'm like, "You know what, just humor me and do it." And they're just like, "Ugh, really?" And I'm like, "Just humor me." Because remember, you don't have to pick it. If there's a pose that you as a photographer like to do, just remind your clients, look, when it comes time to picking the ones that you want, you don't have to pick that picture, but I like to take it anyway to give me more variety, more looks, more options for you as my client when you're going through your gallery to make your selections. So anyway, we take those 10, 15, 20 pictures, whatever it is, and I include those in the gallery. And I kid you not, last month is a great example. I probably took like 50 or 60 portraits last month. And of those 50 or 60 portraits, about 35 to 40 of the agents chose the photo with their arms crossed. And about half of those were agents that said to me, "I don't want that pose." So as overplayed, as cliche, as tacky, as cheesy, as overused, etc. as that pose and that picture is, what is it about arms crossed that attracts so many realtors to use that as their professional profile photo, for their marketing materials, LinkedIn, Match.com, etc.? What is it about arms crossed that looks so good? I'll be very frank, I know it's an overplayed pose. I know it's overused, but for some inexplicable reason, and I can't tell you what it is, women in particular, to me, look really good with their arms crossed. And I think they can pull it off if they have a really big smile and they're not too serious. So if you can be really smiley with your arms crossed, because I think the argument is you look closed, you look like you're kind of mean or angry. That may be true, but you can offset that a little bit with a big smile. But anyway, I'm curious to hear from you. That's my opinion. I still like the pose. I still use it all the time. I know a lot of people loathe that pose. I understand. Again, I know it's overplayed, but I want to hear from you. What is it about that pose that draws so many realtors to make that their their profile photo and their business picture? So that's kind of my musing for the day heading into the weekend. So happy Friday, everybody. Darren Miles Photography, based here in beautiful, sunny, and it is absolutely beautiful and sunny out today here in Southwest Florida. If you like videos like this, please give me a like, or better yet, subscribe. Until the next time, happy shooting.